ज्ञानाञ्जना शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam Vaibhav class. We are continuing our discussion from Canto 4. We are on chapter 1. So far in this first chapter, we have discussed Maitreya Muni describing the lineage of the Swayambhuva Manu. In the third canto, in the end, Swayambhuva Manu, Maitreya Muni described the first daughter, actually the second daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, that is Devahuti, the marriage of Devahuti and Kapiladev, and then and Kardamuni, and then the appearance of Kapiladev, instructions of Kapiladev to Mother Devahuti. And then in this first chapter, he described the dynasty of Akuti and Devahuti and Prasuti. In this first chapter, he is describing that. Okay. Great. Right. So we have completed till verse number 58, I think. 56. First chapter, 56 verse we have done. And we heard how when Yajna appeared from the womb of when Narayana Rishis appeared from the womb of Murti and Dharma. All the Devtas, they appeared and they are glorifying, they are offering beautiful prayers to Narayana Rishi. So we heard the first prayer. Somebody can read the first prayer and then we'll go to the second prayer, 56th verse.
The demigod said, "Let us offer our respectable obeisances unto the transcendental personality of Godhead, who created as his external energy this cosmic manifestation. which is situated in him as the air and clouds are situated in space, and who has now appeared in the form of Naranarayan Rishi in the house of Dharma.
Hmm. Mm. 4.56. Yeah. Just yeah. 4.57. 56 we have done. We'll start with the 57th. So in the 56th verse, online devotees, is it audible properly? I have not got it.
Yes, Prabhuji. Abhi clear है.
Okay.
Now it is clear.
So all the devtas, they are saying how you create this material manifestation by your own external energy, and you are situated. The entire material creation is situated in you, just like the air and clouds are situated in space. And that Supreme Lord has appeared in the form of Nar Narayan Rishi. So Srila Prabhupada focus on this word Yo Maya Virachitam. This indicates that the varieties are manifestations of the energy of the Supreme Lord. Thus, because the energy is not different from the Lord, the varieties are also factual. This world is not illusion, it is temporary. Next verse translation, somebody can read.
Let that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is understood by truly authorized Vedic literature, and who has created peace and prosperity to destroy all calamities of the created world.
Yes, brother, you're saying something. Pratichakshanaya. Here, the word Pratichakshanaya, there are varieties, announces the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who appeared as Naranarayan Rishi, and who is the origin of all varieties of material nature. So the more there are varieties in someone, that shows how they are more opulent. The more a person is rich, the more he has varieties of ways to show his power and show his enjoyment. So varieties announce the glories of the Lord. So that is what is described here. Okay, so next verse translation.
Let the Supreme Personality of Godhead be understood by truly authorized Vedic literature.
57. हाँ 57 नहीं हुआ पढ़िए पढ़िए
57 हुआ.
Let the Supreme Personality of Godhead
56 हुआ ना Okay, please read again.
Let the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is understood by truly authorized Vedic literature, who has created peace and prosperity to destroy all calamities of the created world, be kind enough to bestow his glance upon the demigod. His merciful glance can supersede the beauty of the spotless lotus flower, which is the home of goddess of culture.
So Oyam Sthiti Vyatikrama Upashamanaya Srishtam. That Supreme Lord who created peace, Upashamanaya, destroys all the calamities, Satvena na Suraganan, and he does so by his mode of goodness. And one important word used here by the Devtas are Adabra Karunena Vilokanena. He is kind enough to bestow his glance upon the demigods. So all these Devtas, they are praying that, oh my Lord, please bestow your merciful glance on all of us. As there is a prayer when we wake up the deities, we speak this verse. So Savadabra Bhagavan Karuno Vivriddha. Adabra, O Supreme Merciful Lord, please show your merciful darshan. Adabra Karuna. So the same words are coming here. Adabra Karuna, the most merciful Lord. So Srila Prabhupada, he gives the example of the sun and the moon. Just like Supreme Lord is covered by wonderful activities of material nature, as Just as the outer space or illumination of the sun and moon is sometimes covered by the clouds or the dust. Lord never gets affected by any of the coverings. Lord never gets affected by the modes of material nature. As the first canto verse says, Etad Ishanam Ishasya Prakristhopi. Although the Lord is situated in this material world, he appears in this material world, na yujyate, he never gets affected by it. And similarly, pure devotees of the Lord are also not affected by the modes of material nature. एतदीशानमीशस्य प्रकृतिस्थोपि तद्गुण न युज्यते सदात्मस्थ यथा बुद्धि tad ashraya. Tad ashraya means those who are devotees of the Lord. They are also never affected by the modes of material nature. And then Srila Prabhupada, he never misses a chance to give all the bad words to scientists. In the last few days of his few months of his pastime in this world, in Vrindavan, Prabhupada is in high fever, and in the middle of the night, he was practically sleeping. In the middle of the night, he gets up and says, "We should, chastise and argue and defeat all these scientists. They are not accepting God. They are saying that it is all created by chemical." So, Prabhupada in the last days, last few months, even while he's sleeping, his only consciousness is how to establish that Krishna is supreme and he has made everything. In the beginning days when Srila Prabhupada went to America and he was criticizing always, not criticizing, he was just speaking against Mayavadis and scientists always. So the early disciples, they thought, hey, Mayavadiyon ne kuch to bahut gadbad kiya inke saath India mein. Because they didn't know what is Mayavad and what is the philosophy. So that's why Prabhupada has given his pranam mantra like that. Paschatya Desha Tarine, Nirvishesha Shunyavad, Paschatya Desha Tarine. Prabhupada writes, it is difficult to find origin of cosmic manifestation. Therefore, scientists conclude that nature is the ultimate cause of all material manifestations. Prabhupada gives the example of scorpion coming out of the rice. Vrishchika Tandula Nyaya. The scorpions are coming out of the rice. Ordinary person says, just see, rice is giving birth to scorpions. So that's how scientists are. So Lord has covered the intelligence of these atheistic scientists. Like Maya Javanika, that is put in front of the scientists. So the Lord has created this material nature so wonderfully. It is working so nicely that ordinary person cannot understand that there may be a person behind this. The absence of if something is working so nicely, that does not mean there is no controller. That means it is so perfectly designed that the controller is not seen. And that is what is done by the Lord. And then Srila Prabhupada writes, he is the cause of creation and dissolution, and therefore the demigods are praying for merciful glance upon them in order to be blessed. So this description of Narayan Rishi is not so much here. It comes more in the 12th canto and 11th canto. In 12th canto, not much, many pastimes are given in Bhagavatam, only few pastimes are there. Narayan Rishi is the predominating devatas of Bharatvarsha. That is there. Every Varsha, in the Jambudvip there are 9 Varshas. In that Bharatvarsha, predominating devatas are Narayan Rishi.
They are in this what is it? Badrikashram.
No, Badrikashram. Greater Himalayas, not in our Himalaya. Greater Himalayas. That's why Vyasdev offers his prayers to Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam. He offers prayers to Narayan Rishi because they are the worshipable deities of this place. So in 12th canto, Markandeya Muni is offering prayers and he worships Narayan Rishi, and then the Lord appears in front of him and he says that I want to see the material creation, Maya of yours. And then we know the whole story, how he was put into illusion. In few days, he saw the entire ocean increasing in size, and he was in the waters of devastation for many, many yugas, kalpas. That was the extra devastation. It was, and then ultimately he sees Vatapatrashai. And then 11th canto, Indra, seeing the austerities of Narayana Rishi, he sends Apsaras. So that is a description. He sends Apsaras and the Cupid, and has their standard protocol, standard operating procedure. They created all the beautiful environment, and Apsaras are dancing, and Cupid is shooting arrows. And as Narayana Rishi open their eyes, all the devtas and the Apsaras, they are fearful. अब क्या करेंगे, अब श्राप देंगे लगता है. And then they say, oh, welcome, oh Kamdev, welcome. All the devatas, please come. We are blessed that you have come to our ashram. Please accept our hospitality. And then he sees around and he says, oh, you have brought all these ladies. You go to Indra and tell that we don't have anything against him. And from our side, we'll give some gift for him. So from the thighs of Narayan Rishi, he creates the best of the Apsaras. And that is Urvashi. उर्वशी जो उरु से निकली हैं. And this, the beauty, all the apsaras which Kamadev had brought in front of them, this Urvashi was so beautiful. All their beauty was pale in front of her beauty. So that's how Srila Prabhupada writes there. Confectioner is never attracted by sweets. हलवाई को कभी अपने हलवा स्वीट से ज्यादा कुछ अट्रैक्शन नहीं रहता. So how can Lord be attracted to any of the apsaras? He created the best of the apsaras and told that, okay, you take him, take her as a gift. So that's how these are the few pastimes which are mentioned about Naranara and Rishi.
They are expansions of Lord.
Nara is Arjuna and Narayan is Vishnu. Krishna. That's why Krishna tells, na, both you have and me have appeared many times in the past. क्या है वो श्लोक? बहूनि मे व्यतीतानि जन्मानि तव चार्जुन तान्यहं वेद सर्वाणि न त्वं वेत्ता परन्तप. Arjun says, Arey, how is it that you spoke this knowledge to Vivaswan? Both you and me are of same age. अपरम भवतो जन्म परम जन्म विवस्वत कथम एतद् विजानीयाम तमादो प्रोक्तवानी थी. ऐसा कैसे हो गया अभी? आप कैसे विवस्वान को बता दिया? हम तो ये सेम एज वाले. So then he says, Arey Baba, you have forgotten everything. I didn't forget. Both you and me have taken birth many times. So one of that birth is Narayana Rishi.
Adi Badri, there's a temple, Narayan Rishi. So that is a pastime, I don't remember exactly. Somebody is Sahasra Kavach.
Yeah, that is also there.
That is there. So
Badrinath. Yes. When this Sahasra Kavacha, he worshipped, his name was actually, Sahasra Kavach का नाम क्या था? Dambhodao. There was a demon, Dambhodao. He did tapasya and pleased Surya Dev, and he got 1,000 kavachas and kundal. And then, as all the demons, he started creating havoc. And he asked this benediction that I want 1,000 kavachas, and if somebody has done 1,000 years of tapasya, he only can break one kavacha, and after breaking my one kavach, he should die. So that was his benediction. So Suryadev said, okay. So all the devatas, they were getting disturbed and he was torturing everyone. So they went to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu sent them to Narayan Rishi. And Narayan Rishi said, okay, ठीक है, we will do the needful. So they made a deal. One person will go and he will do tapasya for one day in Badrinath. One day tapasya in Badrinath is equal to 1,000 years of tapasya. So एक दिन तपस्या करके ये जाते थे, and he would break one kavacha and then he would die. Apparently, Lord never dies. And then this other devotee, other person would be doing tapasya and he would get a mantra to revive this Narayan. Narayan ko revive kar rahe hain, and then Narayan Nar ko has. That's how they broke 999 kavachas. एक बच गया तो बेचारा अभी बोला अभी तो मर जाएंगे. So he went running to Suryadev. Protect him. So that's how Suryadev gave him protection. And he kept him with himself. Kept that Dambhoda. Yeah. So when Kunti Maharani asked, she called कि भाई अभी I was testing the mantra and now you can go back. So Suryadev says थोड़ा होता है अभी. Yeah, है तो मेरा अभी देखे जाऊंगा. So he gave that same demon in the womb of Kunti. Just by a little bit association of Suryadev and Kunti, he had developed some good qualities. वो charitable बन गया था बेचारा.
वो कर्ण
Karna, he was Karna. Sahasra Kavach. So after Lord Naranarayan Rishi appeared and he heard the prayers, the next verse we'll recite. Evam surganai stata bhagavanta vabhishtutau labdhavalokairyayatu architau gandhamadanam.
Said, "Oh, Vidura, just let me worship with prayers. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is worship Narayan. The Lord glanced upon them with mercy and then departed to Gandhamana.
Gandhamadanam. ताव इमाव वै भगवतो हरेरंशा विहागतौ भारव्ययाय च भुवः कृष्णो यदु कुरुद्वहौ.
Partial expansion of Krishna has now appeared in the dynasties of Yadu and Kuru in the form of Krishna and Arjuna respectively, to mitigate the burden of the world.
Maitreya Muni is telling the same thing. The Lord has appeared as Arjun and Krishna. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, Nar and Narayana, portions of the Lord at the end of Dwapar Yuga, have attained the forms of Krishna and Arjun. The portions have entered their Amshi. Amshi means from whom the Amshas appear. Krishna is the original avatari. So Narayan, he appears along with, he enters Krishna and appears as Krishna. And Nara appears with Arjuna.
Appears like where Krishna doesn't.
That's why Chakravarti Thakur is clarifying it here. The portions have entered their Amshi. Krishna is original Supreme Lord, and from him all the avatars come. So it is not that Narayan appeared as Krishna. Narayan is the expansion of Krishna. Just like when Krishna appears, all the avatars they appear, they merge in the body of Krishna. Yes. He appeared, he entered the Supreme Lord Krishna, and then they appeared together. So Srila Prabhupada also writes, Narayan is Supreme Lord, Nara is a part of Supreme Lord, thus the energy and energetic together are Supreme Personality. Maitreya informed Vidura that Nara had appeared in the family of Kurus and Narayan had come as Krishna with the purpose of delivering suffering humanity.
I mentioned energy project, energy.
All the jivas are the energies of the Lord. Tatashta Shakti.
Arjuna is the Jiva Shakti.
Arjuna is Jiva Shakti, of course. So after describing this, now Maitreya Muni describes the dynasty of the 14th daughter of Daksha. इसके पहले अभी तक बाकी 16 पुत्री है ना. Daksha had 16 daughters. So 13 were daughters to Dharma. 13 daughters were married to Dharma. उसमें 13th daughter was Murti. Murti and Dharma gave birth to Naranarayan Rishi. So Maitreya Muni spent some time describing the story of Naranarayan Rishi. Now the 14th daughter is Swaha. Agni wale Swaha. स्वाहाभिमानिनश्चाग्ने आत्मजां स्त्रीन जीजनत् पावकं पवमानं च भोजनम्.
He got in his wife Swaha 3 children named Pavaka, Pavamana, and Shichi, who exist by eating the oblations offered to the fire of sacrifice.
Next verse, translation.
From those 3 sons, another 45 descendants were generated.
who are also fire gods. The total number of fire gods is therefore 49, including the fathers and grandfather.
So 49 fire gods appeared like that. Grandfather is Agni, then father is Pavaka, Pavaman and Shuchi, and from them 45 more. So total 49 devatas they have appeared. Next verse, translation.
These 49 fire gods are the beneficiaries of the oblation offered in the Vedic sacrificial fire by impersonalist Brahmanas.
Okay, next verse, translation. अभी बाकी बच गए 2, 14 हो गए ना. 14 daughters are married, so remaining 2 they are married to the pita. That is described in the next verse. Yes.
The Agni Shvatas, the Barhishadas, the Somyas, and the Ajyapas are the Pitrus.
Pitas. They are pita.
Pitas. They are either Sagnika and Niragnika. The wife of all these Pitas is Swadha, who is the daughter of King Daksha.
So 15th daughter is Swadha. She was married to Pita, Agnishwatas, Barhishada, Saumya, Ajapya. तो ये हो गई 15. So next, her son is described in the next verse. Translation. ये चारों का विवाह कर दिया स्वधा से.
4 husbands.
Oh. Pita is the Pitraloka.
हाँ, पितृलोका. प्रचेता भी 10 प्रचेतास were married to one Marisha, ना? यहाँ पे भी है. Translation, next verse, 64th.
Swadha. So, Swadha, who was offered to the Pitas, begot 2 daughters named Vayuna and Dharini, both of whom were impersonalists and were expert in transcendental Vedic knowledge.
Brahmavadinyau. They were not Mayavadis, they were Brahmavadis. Impersonalists means they were absorbed in Brahman. Okay, तो 15 हो गए. अब ये 16वां जो है, that will create a inquisitiveness. ये ऐसा कैसे हो गया? इनका कोई संतान क्यों नहीं हुआ भाई 16 वाले का? भवस्य पत्नी तु सती भवं देवं मनुव्रता आत्मनः सदृशं पुत्रं नालेभे गुणशीलतः.
He could not produce a child, although she always faithfully engaged in the service of her husband.
Next verse, translation.
The reason is that Sati's father, Daksha, used to rebuke the Lord Shiva in spite of Shiva's ordinary. Consequently, before attaining a mature age, Sati gave up her body by dint of yogic testing.
Yes. What was the reason why she didn't procreate any child? She died early. She gave up her body by her mystic powers. Ajahat yoga samyuta. She gave up her body because Daksha used to rebuke Lord Shiva, who was faultless. He had no fault. Anagase. Now, that is the end of the first chapter.
Okay.
So, as soon as this is spoken, Vidurji, he is not happy. Chalo bhai, ho gaya, khatam ho gaya, khatam. Immediately, that is.
There was a mention why Sati selected Shiva. It is not mentioned. Father was obsolete. Maybe a love marriage, whatever, I don't know. But there is something father-in-law is upset.
अभी थोड़ा एक सेंटेंस में बोल देना उनको क्या है. See, all the speaker sometimes leaves some things just to test कि भाई ये पूछेंगे कि नहीं पूछेंगे. पूछेंगे तो आगे बताएंगे, नहीं तो फिर आगे चलेंगे हम. Just to see the eagerness of the audience to hear. कितने eager हैं सुनने के लिए कि भाई ठीक है भाई बोलते रहो, हमको तो अपना सिलेबस खत्म करना है जल्दी जल्दी. So that's how many times he also does. Shukdev Goswami also does. बोलते हैं अरे अगसुर का वध हो गया और 1 साल तक कोई बात ही नहीं की, नेक्स्ट ईयर बोला, बोले 1 मिनट ऐसा कैसे हो गया? Every evening they would come and they would discuss what Krishna did. How is it that all the coward boys they discussed after 1 year? What happened in Kaumar? They discussed in नहीं, what happened in Pauganda? They discussed in Kaumar. ऐसा कैसे हो गया? So यहाँ पे भी ऐसा ही, he is just telling भाई नहीं हुई उनकी पुत्री. So immediately Vidurji, he is asking question. Vidura uvacha भवे शीलवतां श्रेष्ठे दक्षो दुहित्रवत्सलः विद्वेषम् अकरोत् कस्मात् अनादृत्यात्मजां सतीम्.
Daksha, who was so affectionate towards his daughter, envious of Lord Shiva, who is the best among the gentle. Why did he neglect his daughter Sati?
So he is asking logically, ये कैसे हो सकता है ऐसा? How could Daksha neglect Sati and how can he hate Lord Shiva? ये दोनों गड़बड़ है. Why? How is it that Sati died and he didn't do anything, and how is it that he neglected and hated Lord Shiva? Because Daksha Bhave Shilavatam. Bhava means Lord Shiva. He is Shilavatam Srishta. He is best among the gentle people. ऐसा भी नहीं कि भाई दामाद का व्यवहार अच्छा नहीं था तो ससुर को गुस्सा आ गया. नहीं, he was शीलवताम श्रेष्ठ. And Daksha, he was Duhitra Vatsala. So Lord Shiva, he was so gentle, he's so renounced. On the day of marriage also, अभी शिवरात्रि गई. One popular story which is there, उसका source नहीं मालूम मेरे को. सबको अभी लॉर्ड सती said अरे भाई नहीं, पार्वती के साथ विवाह होने के बाद, पार्वती के बाद बोले घर तो बनाइए, घर कहाँ रहेंगे हम, आप तो कैलाश पे रहते हैं. ठीक है, घर बनाएंगे, चलो. Made a nice house and invited all the brahmanas for house warming ceremony. चलो भाई, सब कुछ हो गया. And then it was time to give दक्षिणा. तो सबको दक्षिणा देते जा रहे हैं. एंड ऐसा करते करते है ना, यहाँ पे चेयर इधर दे दीजिए. तो लास्ट ब्राह्मण वाज रिमेनिंग एंड नथिंग वाज देयर. ये भी थोड़ा सा इंटरेस्टिंग है. हाउ इज इट पॉसिबल कि नथिंग इज देयर? बोले क्या करें? ठीक है, तो ये घर ही ले लीजिए आप, चलिए हरि बोल. So that's how the Lord Shiva is Shilavatam Sreshta. He is best among the gentle. And Daksha, he is Dohitra Vatsala. Generally, the youngest child is the dearmost. And Sati is the youngest child. So how is it that Daksha neglected Sati? That is very interesting. So Shilavatam and Dohitra Vatsala Vidvesham. How is it that in दोनों में इतना द्वेष हो गया? So much so that he didn't respect and he neglected. And then he gives some more qualities of Lord Shiva. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport. In the second chapter of the 4th canto, the cause of dissension between Lord Shiva and Daksha, which was due to a great sacrifice arranged by Daksha, it is explained. Lord Shiva is best of the gentle and he is all auspicious. That's the meaning of Shiva. Shiva means all auspicious. Shankara. Shankar का अर्थ क्या होता है? शम करोति इति शंकर.
शुभ करोति.
शम. शंख मतलब क्या होता है ना?
शम मतलब,
शंख मतलब क्या होता है? शंख. शंख का मतलब क्या होता है?
auspicious sound creator.
Sham khe. Khe means ether. Sham means auspiciousness. That which creates auspiciousness in the ether. So Shankara, one who creates auspiciousness for everyone. Shankar, Shiva. So no one can be enemy of Lord Shiva. He is so peaceful, so renounced. Prabhupada writes, he does not even construct a house for his residence. Lives underneath a tree.
That may be the reason actually. Who would like to give daughter?
हाँ वो तो है ना, वो तो बोलते हैं ना दक्षा, फूल गाली देते हैं बाद में, तो वो तो देखेंगे हम लोग. मरकट लोचन क्या क्या बोलते हैं वो. The personality of Lord Shiva symbolizes best of gentleness. Why then was Daksha, who offered his beloved daughter to such a gentle personality, inimical towards Lord Shiva, so that Sati gave up her body? Now, some more qualities of Lord Shiva he is telling. Kastam chara chara gurum nirvairam shanta vigraham atmaramam katham dveshti jagato daivatam mahat.
Lord Shiva, the spiritual master of the entire world, is free from enmity. He is a peaceful personality and is always satisfied in himself. He is the greatest among the demigods. How is it possible that Daksha could be inimical towards such an auspicious personality?
He शीलवताम श्रेष्ठ, पहले श्लोक में बोलते हैं शीलवताम श्रेष्ठ, he is best among the gentle. Then now he's saying he's charachara guru, he is a spiritual master of the whole world, chara achara. He is nirvaira, non-envious, shant vigraham, he is always peaceful. He is atmaram, he is self-satisfied. And jagato daivatam mahat, he is the greatest of all the devtas. So a person who has all these qualities, how is it that Daksha, who is also very, very learned, how can he become envious and hateful towards such a personality? So Srila Prabhupada writes about these words, how Lord Shiva is Chanachara Guru, he is Bhutanath, he is worshipable personality, deity of all the ghosts also. He is the one who takes care of all the ghosts and demons. It will come in this fourth canto only, how when this Kashyapa and Diti is telling Kashyapa that please give me a child in the evening time. So there Kashyap Muni says, Are Baba, you are not ashamed of Lord Shiva. He is moving around this time. Esha ghor tamavela ghoranam ghor darshana yasyanchan charanti bhutani bhuteshanu charanihi. Bhutesha means Lord Shiva. घूम रहे हैं घोरतम वेला, it is a very inauspicious time. He is always with his associates, ghosts, hobgoblins, and anybody who does wrong thing, who has union, he puts some of his associates. चलो भाई आपके लिए. बोले अरे बाबा, he is Bhutnath, he is always merciful to even lowest of the people. Not to speak of anybody else, he is merciful to everyone. That's why he is the best of the Vaishnavas. प्रपात बोलते हैं उनका संप्रदाय है रुद्र संप्रदाय and all that. So Daksha is not an ordinary person also. तो ये तो इतने बड़े हैं और दक्षा भी ऐसा मूर्ख नहीं है. He is also very learned. ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? How is he becoming angry on such a great personality? He says, third verse, Etad आख्याहि me brahman चामातु शशुरस्य च विद्वेषस्तु यतः प्राणाम् तत्यजे दुस्त्यजान् सति.
Like to part with one's life is very difficult. Would you kindly explain to me how such a son-in-law and father-in-law could quarrel so bitterly that the great goddess Sati could give up her life?
ये दामाद और ससुर में इतना क्या झगड़ा हो गया, ये बेचारी सती को अपना प्राण त्यागना पड़ गया. So that is a great anxiety, inquisitiveness which I have. Can you please dispel this? It was not an ordinary affair. So Prabhupada writes, Chakravarti Thakur writes in the second verse purport commentary. How could Daksha show hatred to Shiva? He is Guru because of the qualities mentioned. If externally the Guru shows enmity or disturbed body, one should not still hate him. Even if Guru shows hatred, one should not hate the Guru. Do not even consider other qualities. बाकियों का तो छोड़ो, ये भाई एक quality sufficient. He is Charachar Guru. How can Daksha become hateful of Guru? Even if the Guru does something wrong. Although Lord Shiva has not done anything wrong, he is Shilvatam Srishta, Charachar Guru, Nirvaira, Shanta Vigraha, सब हैं वो. So how is it that Daksha showed hatred? On the top of that, Daksha was living under Lord Shiva's jurisdiction. Lord Shiva is the predominating deity of the Sanghar. He's a Tamogun Devta. ऐसा कैसे? How is it that Daksha became hateful towards such a personality?
Daksha doesn't.
He knows. But विनाश काले विपरीत बुद्धि.
बोली मेरे ख्याल से शिवा चराचर गुरु मतलब उसके फॉलोअर्स ज्यादा रखते थे इनकी के फॉलोअर्स ज्यादा है इसमें से भी ज्यादा रखते
Whoever they may be, चर अचर सबके गुरु हैं वो, because he is spiritual master. He teaches everyone how to come to Krishna Bhakti. That is Lord Shiva. That's why he is Guru. But most of the times people go to Lord Shiva for material things. If somebody goes to Lord Shiva for and worships him without any ulterior motives, Shiva brings him to devotional service only. That's why when Prachetas, they were going to do tapasya, even without being asked, Lord Shiva appeared. And he says, yes, यह परम ब्रह्म स साक्षात् त्रिगुणा जीव संगितात् भगवंतं वासुदेवा प्रपन्न स प्रियोसि मे. Lord Shiva is telling, because Prachetas are confused and he got shocked. ऐसा अपने आप कैसे आ गया? इतना बड़ा बड़ा तपस्या करना पड़ता है आपका दर्शन करने के लिए. So Lord Shiva is telling, Bhagvantam Vasudeva Prapanna, whoever is surrendered to Bhagvantam Vasudev, Sapriyosime. They are dear to me. And in fact, it says, my devotees are not so dear to me. Devotees of Lord Vishnu are more dear to me. Because they worship without any ulterior motives. मेरे डिवोटी तो हमेशा मांगने के लिए आते हैं. They come only for material things. That's how Lord Shiva is. You all know, right? Lord Krishna has 64 qualities. फिर विष्णु में 4 कम है. कौन से नहीं है? रेणु माधुरी, रूप माधुरी. ऐड मत करिए. 5 हो. वेणु माधुरी, रूप माधुरी, लीला माधुरी, प्रेम माधुरी. तो शिव जी में कौन से हैं जो 5? विष्णु में कौन से 5 है जो शिव जी में नहीं है? एक बार बताया था ना मैंने. लास्ट क्लास में बताया था. फिर तो बताना ही पड़ेगा आपको. है अवतारावली बीजम, हतारी गतदायक, आत्मा राम गणाकर्षति. एंड उसके पहले वाले श्लोक में आता है कोटि अविचिन्त्य महाशक्ति, कोटि ब्रह्मांड विग्रह. ये 2 हो गए. ये इसी में है. अविचिन्त्य महाशक्ति. Lord Vishnu has inconceivable potencies. कोटि ब्रह्मांड विग्रह. सब ब्रह्मांड कहाँ से निकलते हैं? विष्णु से निकलते हैं. अवतारावली बीजम. अवतार कहाँ से आते हैं? विष्णु से आते हैं. हतारी गतदायक. जिनको मारते हैं उनको मुक्ति मिलती है. एंड आत्माराम गण आकर्षति. इवन आत्माराम गेट अट्रैक्टेड. फॉर एग्जाम्पल कुमाराज एंड सुखदेव गोस्वामी. ये हो गए 5 चीजें जो शिवजी में नहीं है. शिवजी में 5 चीजें हैं जो ब्रह्मा में नहीं है. कौन से? हाँ. सदा स्वरूप संप्राप्त. He is always situated in his position. He never falls down. Sarvagya, he is omniscient. Nitya Nutana, he is always young. Satchidananda Sandrangah, he is concentrated form embodiment of Satchidananda. And Sarv Siddhi Nishevata, he is the master of all the mystic powers. तो इनमें इतने सारे गुण हैं. वैसे 50 maximum. Brahma ji has 50. Brahma ji is living entity, na? So all these 50 are manifesting fully in Brahma ji. We are manifesting a little bit of some of them. But it is different. Brahma is fullest, 50.
ये सारे क्वालिटीज कहाँ पे मिलेंगे?
है ना, वो उसमें ही है, सीसी के इसमें ही है. अभी सुनाऊंगा नहीं आपको, उसमें देख लीजिएगा. हाँ, उसी में वो मध्य लीला में सनातन शिक्षा में है, पूरा बताते हैं. वो अयम नेता सुरम्यांग सर्वसलक्षणान्वित विविध, तो ऐसा चलता रहता है. वो पूरा बताने के बाद फिर बोलते हैं ये 50 जो है ब्रह्मा जी में भी है. फिर 5 जो है शिव जी वाले हैं, सब आते हैं उसमें। अयम नेता सुरम्यांग, यहाँ से शुरू होता है वो। Okay, so he says, how can somebody be envious of such a personality? ऐसा possible ही नहीं है. Please tell me, how is it? Maitreya Uvacha. Now Maitreya starts describing the whole story, wonderful section of Daksha Yagya. Talks of wonderful lessons. पति पत्नी में झगड़ा कैसे होता है वो यहाँ पे सब आएगा, कैसा कैसा क्या क्या बोल रहे हैं, और बेचारे समझा रहे हैं कितना शिव जी मत जाओ मत जाओ। और पार्वती सती तो एकदम ऐसा गुस्सा हो के एकदम ऐसा तो लिखती है। इट इज डिस्क्राइब्ड मैत्रेय में says she looked at Lord Shiva as if she is going to burn him। ऐसा गुस्सा होके चली जाती हो। पुरा विश्व सृजाम सत्रे एता परमर्षयः तथा मर्गणा सर्वे सानुगामुनयोज्ञयः।
Sage Maitreya said, in a former time, the leaders of the universal creation performed a great sacrifice in which all the great sages, philosophers, demigods, and fire gods assembled with their followers.
But our Vishwarup Prabhu, he was, telling हमारा राधा गोपीनाथ का appearance day होता है ना, so he was telling about the beginning days of Radha Gopinath temple. It was a small temple, and that time Vishwarup Prabhu was staying in temple only. He was married, and Radhanath Maharaj, his room and Vishwarup Prabhu's room was separated by only a cardboard separation, cardboard का एक। So वो प्रभु जी बोल रहे थे, and we would fight, मैं वो उनकी पत्नी झगड़ा कर रहे हैं, and they would hear not। थोड़ी देर चुप होके दोबारा झगड़ा फिर से। After some days or some time, Maharaj told, hearing all your fighting, I confirmed my sannyas vows। झगड़ा यहाँ पे आएगा भी। Okay, so Maitreya Muni now describes that one time the leaders of the universe, all the Prajapatis, they performed a great sacrifice. So Prabhupada writes, upon being asked by Vidura, the sage Maitreya began to explain the cause of misunderstanding between Lord Shiva and Daksha. Thus begins the history of a great sacrifice performed by the leaders. बड़े बड़े लोग थे वहां पे सब, Marichi, Daksha, Vashishta, all the sons of Brahmaji, all the 10 rishis, they were everybody there. What happens? Tatra pravishtam rishayo दृष्ट्वार्कमिव रोचिषा विभ्राजमानं वितिमिरम् कुर्वन्तं तन्महत्सदः।
कुर्वन्तं तन्महत् Hare Krishna. When Daksha, the leader of Prajapati, entered his assembly, his personal bodily luster as brought as bright as the effulgence of sun. The entire assembly was illuminated, and all the assembled personality become become insignificant in his presence. Hare Krishna.
Daksha was not an ordinary ऐसा छोटा मोटा personality कि भाई ठीक है आ गए। All the devtas, they became insignificant in front of Daksha. All the devtas, all the assembled personalities, they are so lustrous, so bright. Entire assembly was illuminated. So this gives the description of who was Daksha. He was not at all an ordinary personality. बड़े बड़े देवता उनके सामने फीके पड़ रहे हैं। So the sense of this entire description is, however powerful one may be, unless one is a devotee of the Lord, he can't be free of envy and pride. So, in the 8th canto, this story of Vamanadev and Bali Maharaj, There Vamanadev tells this very, very wonderful verse. Janma karma vayo rupa vidya aishwarya dhanadibhi yadi asya na bhavet stambha tatrayam madanugrahat. He says, if somebody has janma, high birth, karma, vaya, youthful body, rupa, beautiful body, vidya, aishwarya, dhan, adi, jo bhi ho. If you see somebody possessing all these things, still he is humble. Yadi yasya na bhavet stambha, if he is not proud of these, understand that he has received my mercy. Tatrayam mad anugrahat, only by my mercy it is possible, otherwise not possible. Lord Shiva tells the same thing to Sati. It will come in the 3rd chapter. Lord Shiva tells, झगड़ा होता है ना दोनों में, तो सती बोलती है मुझे तो लगता है आपको ही मेरे पिताजी से कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम है, आप खड़े नहीं हो सकते थे, खड़े हो जाते तो क्या प्रॉब्लम होता बताइए, आप बैठे क्यों रह गए? सो he says, अरे बाबा, I was meditating on the Lord. आपको उसी समय मेडिटेशन में जाना था, बाद में नहीं जा सकते थे आप? So Lord Shiva says, अरे बाबा, that is not in my hand. There Lord Shiva quotes this very famous word, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. Prabhupada ने कितने बार बोला है श्लोक? तो शिव जी बोलते हैं, अरे बाबा, when Lord will appear in my purified heart, only He knows. मैं थोड़ा बोल सकता हूँ उनको अभी मत आओ. And before that Sati says, अरे बाबा, my father will not be angry. He understands. He will welcome me. Lord Shiva says, he will not welcome you. He is proud. ऐसा कैसे proud? He is knowledgeable also. तो वहां पे लॉर्ड शिव बोलते हैं, देखिए, विद्या तपो वित्त वपु वयो कुलई, सेम क्वालिटीज ही इज आल्सो काउंटिंग. विद्या तपो वित्त वपु वयो कुलई सताम गुणई, दीज आर सेंटली गुड क्वालिटीज. विद्या है, तप है, वपु है, वित्त, वयो कुल, 6 सताम गुणई. बट asattam itara, when they manifest in demoniac people, what happens? Smritau hatayam, they lose their intelligence. And the result is that they become proud. And proud people, stabdha na pashyanti, dham bhuyasam. A proud person cannot see the good qualities of saintly person. He will not welcome you. So that is the story of Daksha. He's such a...
Point also is like Daksha who's offending Vaishnava.
वो भी है.
So if you offend in Vaishnava, whoever you may be, Krishna will definitely destroy.
बेचारा 6 मनवंतर तक तपस्या करके भी आया, फिर भी वो उसका गया नहीं मेंटालिटी.
So pride is a very difficult quality unless we have the mercy of the Lord.
क्वालिटी नहीं है, अनर्थ.
God's mercy to go because we cannot think, okay, I'm not, I don't have.
Today only Nanda Dulal Prabhu was giving a Bhagavatam class in our temple, and he was elaborating on these anarthas. And he said, Kama, Krodha. It is not that these are all, at same level. All these anarthas are, they have a gradation. Highest is envy. Envy has all the lower other 5 also. If somebody is envious, he'll be having lust, anger, greed, pride, and or सब कुछ होगा, illusion. If somebody is having pride, that means पहले 4 होंगे. If somebody has anger, so lust will be there for sure. So pride means he has kama, krodha, lobha, moha. ये है ही. So this is very difficult to give up. It requires mercy of the Lord, and of course our own practice will attract mercy of the Lord.
It is mentioned perfect version of Prabhupada also. We cannot able to overcome this unless there is a mercy of Krishna. Very clearly mentioned. You are controlling the
आज कथा में बोले थे बीच में पहले कोई डिवोटी के सन पास पे बैठे थे जो 15-16 तो छत से गिर गए लेकिन वो रो नहीं रहे, सबको बोल रहे हरिना लिखो, कोई रोना नहीं आता. हम सुनिए पिता राम सुनते थे प्रैक्टिकली यहाँ पे हुआ है 20 दिन पहले.
यस्य अस्ति भक्तिः भगवते सर्वे गुणेषु
Yeah,
तस्मात् only the qualities are not mentioned.
Yes, so that's how the story is about to begin. It describes many wonderful lessons.
Envy, pride, and
Envy चला जाएगा तो फिर क्या हो? So
You're almost at the point.
almost nahi, we are there. Because of envy only we are here in this world. Envy is the last thing to.
and there is a 2 months, no?
हाँ,
Say.
प्रेम में भी थोड़ा सा रहता है.
Even Vaikuntha people who went to Vaikuntha still have a relation of Ananta. What to speak of where-
वो हमने सुना है ना वो सुख ऐश्वर्योत्तर मुक्ति एंड प्रेम से उत्तर मुक्ति. Nice. Okay, so Daksha is entering. Udatishtham sadasyaste swadhishnetya sahagnayah te vincham sarvam cha tadbhasa kshipta chetasah.
By the personal bodily luster, all the fire gods and other participants in the great assembly, with the exceptions of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, gave up their own sitting places and stood in respect for Daksha.
अभी देखिए पूरी सभा उठ गई है एंड ही इज नॉट नोटिसिंग कि भाई सब लोग उठे, एक नहीं उठा तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है. दैट इज प्राइड. Everybody is welcoming him, offering respects to him. बेचारे 2 लोग नहीं उठे, उसमें भी ब्रह्मा जी से इनको प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ठीक है, अभी का है तो भी ठीक है, इतना तो देना पड़ेगा रेस्पेक्ट. चलेगा. नहीं He was not expecting Brahma ji to get up, but बेचारे शिव जी कैसे नहीं उठे? ये तो हमारे दामाद है ना. दामाद तो जूनियर है, ससुर के सामने तो दामाद को उठना चाहिए. ही इज नॉट थिंकिंग बाबा, ही इज द डायरेक्टर ऑफ द यूनिवर्स. ये बड़े देवता हैं, महादेव हैं.
He's thinking he has accepted subordinate position, na?
हाँ, मेरे
The director.
दामाद बन गया.
दामाद हैं.
By accepting my daughter, you are subordinate.
देखिए, सदसस्पति फिर दक्षो भगवान साधु सत्कृतः
भगवान्
अजम लोक गुरुं नत्वा
जन्लोकं
निषसाद तदाज्ञया.
निष्कादनदाक्षया.
By the president of the Lord Brahma, after offering Lord Brahma's respect, Daksha by the order of Brahma properly took his seat.
तो सबको प्रणाम. दक्ष ने ब्रह्मा जी को प्रणाम किया. ही ऑफर्ड रिस्पेक्ट्स. ही वाज वेलकम्ड बाय ब्रह्मा जी. ब्रह्मा जी उसको स्वागत किया, ऐसा नहीं कि खाली बैठे रह गए. ही आल्सो वेलकम्ड हिम. एंड आफ्टर ऑफरिंग रिस्पेक्ट टू ब्रह्मा जी, दक्षा आल्सो सैट. अब इट इज नॉट दैट ठीक है अभी छोड़ दिए अभी शिव जी को, ठीक है नहीं उठे कोई बात नहीं, आई एम सिटिंग. He is noticing that one person, why he didn't get up. Just like entire universe is bowing in front of हिरण्यकशिपु. बेचारा एक 5 साल का बच्चा नहीं माना, तो मतलब इतना प्रॉब्लम हो गया नरसिंह ये हिरण्यकशिपु को. दैट इज हाउ प्राइड इज. प्राण निषन्नं मृदं दृष्ट्वा नामृष्यत् तदनादृतः वाच वामं चक्षुर्भ्यां विविक्ष्य दहन्निव. जला देंगे ऐसा देख रहे हैं.
Taking his seat, however, Daksha was very much offended to see Lord Shiva sitting and not showing him any respect. At that time, Daksha became greatly angry, and his eyes glowing, he began to speak very strongly against Lord Shiva.
प्राक निशमनम. इवन बिफोर टेकिंग हिज सीट, आंखें उधर ही हैं, उठे क्यों नहीं है? बैठते बैठते भी ही इज लुकिंग एट हिम ओनली. ना अमृष्यत, ही कुड नॉट टॉलरेट दिस. कैसे मेरा
Maybe he was very upset.
वो तो पहले से ही ना,
वो पहले वाला
that is the tipping point.
As you write,
You know, whenever we see somebody behaving in certain way, we should not think ये बात तो इतनी सी थी. किसी के साथ ऐसा हुआ है, बात तो इतनी सी थी, इतना क्यों गुस्सा हो गए भाई?
पहले का सब है रेसिड्यूअल.
अब मेरे साथ तो हुआ है एक दो बार ऐसा. सबके साथ हुआ है ना. तो इतनी सी बात इतना क्यों भड़के भाई? So it is not a दक्षा बेचारे एक बार पहली बार देखे शिव जी is not getting up and he is becoming angry. No, he is thinking since long time. जब से शादी हुआ है, विवाह किया है पुत्री का, तब से इनको खुन्नस है. ऐसा कैसे? So every outburst has a history. Whenever we see somebody behaving in certain way, you should always know कि भाई कुछ तो पिछले का है. Everybody has his own idiosyncrasies, and Lord Shiva has a particular way of dressing. पहले Lord Shiva was also dressing like a Vaishnava. वैष्णव चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर लिखते हैं एक परपोट में आगे आता है, ऐसा तिलक और कंठीमाला और वैष्णव ड्रेस. तो उनके फॉलोअर्स तो भूत हैं सब, भूत पिशाच. So they were also dressing like Vaishnavas and smoking and doing all गड़बड़. तो बोले यार ये तो नहीं चलेगा. तो ब्रह्मा जी ने बोला देखो भैया आप अपना थोड़ा ड्रेस चेंज करो, यहाँ पे कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है. आपके फॉलोअर्स तो ड्रेस कर रहे हैं वैष्णव की तरह और कर रहे हैं पूरा गड़बड़. So that's why he changed his dress. So he has his own way of working. But शिव जी को देख के बेचारा नहीं दक्षा is getting really angry. So Srila Prabhupada writes.
Devotee are not doing something wrong, the Guru is responsible, not guide.
Sorry?
If devotees are doing something wrong,
Yeah.
the Guru general guides no. So Lord Shiva is not guiding the Bhut Pisacha. He is a devotee of Lord.
वो क्या है ना, कुछ डिसाइपल्स रहते हैं ऐसे जो गुरु के शुद्धिकरण के लिए आते हैं. तो गुरु जी भी हाथ जोड़ते हैं उनको, भाई तू मत सुन चलेगा, परेशान मत कर तू. So Lord Shiva, he is also guiding them, but how can you guide Bhoot and Pishach? फिर भी that's why he is भूतनाथ ना, इसलिए आशुतोष है, इसीलिए चराचर गुरु है, जिसको भी गुरु बना ले, चलो भाई सबका गुरु मैं हूँ. He has taken the responsibility of delivering everyone. So at least वो लोग सुनेंगे किसका, वो मतलब माफिया वाले किसका सुनेंगे? जो उसके जैसा दिखेगा उसी का ही सुनेंगे ना. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लॉर्ड शिवा से चलो उनके साथ ड्रेस तो करते हैं, तब तो लगेगा कि इनको कि मैं भी इनके बिरादरी वाला हूँ. Then slowly he sometimes guides. So Prabhupada writes, Lord Shiva, being the son-in-law, was expected to show his father-in-law respect by standing with the others. But Lord Shiva and Brahma are principal demigods. Their positions are greater than Daksha. Daksha could not tolerate this. So he took it as an insult. मेरे son-in-law ऐसा कैसे नहीं उठे? He was not very satisfied with Shivji, for Shiva looked very poor and was niggardly in dress. अभी शिवरात्रि पे one of our devotees was giving a class, और वो रामायण से बता रहे थे शिवरात्रि में लॉर्ड शिवा एंड पार्वती का विवाह होने जा रहा है, तो लॉर्ड शिवा के तो माता पिता अभी आए नहीं, इनका ड्रेसिंग कौन करेगा, कौन इनको सजाएगा, दूल्हा कौन बनाएगा? तो सब भूत पिशाच ने सोचा हम लोग ही ड्रेसिंग करते हैं. तो हल्दी चंदन तो उनको कहाँ मिलेगा, तो वो गए शमशान से सब राखवाड़ लेके आ गए, उसी से नहलाया उनको. फिर ऑर्नामेंट्स के लिए क्या करेंगे? दे ब्रॉट डिफरेंट साइजेस ऑफ स्नेक्स, ब्रेसलेट, आमलेट, नेकलेस, सब स्नेक ऐसा पहना के सब रेडी हैं शिव जी जाने के लिए विवाह में. तो सब देवता लोग सोचे देखो यार इससे जाएंगे तो कोई अंदर ही नहीं लेगा इनको, एक काम करते हैं, you be in the center and we will surround you. All your Bhut Pishach and Shivji, you remain in the center, all the Devatas will be in the front. तो ऐसा करके सब लोग मैरिज प्रोसेशन में गए. तो जैसे ही हिमालय और उनकी पत्नी कौन है, मैना, तो वो जैसे ही देखे कि चलो भाई अभी बारात आ गई है, दे वर वेरी हैप्पी। तो जैसे ही दरवाजे पे आ गई बारात, ऑल द देवतास दे पार्टेड एंड शिव जी एंड ऑल द भूतस दे आर डांसिंग। सो मैना देवी शी फेंट्स। तो ये क्या है, किसको लेके आ गई? सो देन ब्रह्मा जी रिक्वेस्ट, देखो आज के दिन तो थोड़ा अच्छे से ड्रेसिंग करना चाहिए। सो देन लॉर्ड शिव ड्रेस नाइसली। तो ऐसे बेचारे हमारे लॉर्ड शिव जी, तो दक्षा सोचिए उस समय कैसा लगा रहेगा। दक्षा वैसे ही थे ना, शिव जी तो वैसे ही रहे होंगे, शिव विवाह के लिए वैसे ही आए होंगे। सो दैट्स व्हाई ही वाज रियली एंग्री। सो नाउ Daksha is really angry, and he is going to give wonderful logical reasons. He is trying to polarize the public opinion. You know, if somebody wants to get all the people on his side, they have to speak something. तो ये अच्छे से बता रहे हैं इन एक्सपर्ट रिटोरिकल वे। बोलते हैं मैं तो आप लोगों के भले के लिए बोलने जा रहा हूं। आई एम नॉट एनवियस। फर्स्ट थिंग इज आई एम नॉट एनवियस। और बोलते हैं सुनिए सब लोग ऐसा बोल रहे हैं, श्रूयताम ब्रह्मर्षयो में
श्रूयतं
सहदेवा
ब्रह्मर्षये
सहाग्नयः
सह देवाः
साधूनां
समाश्रयः
ब्रुवतो कृतं
साधूनां
नाज्ञानां
प्रोक्तं
न च मत्सरा।
नाज्ञानं न च न तस्करा।
श्रूयताम सब सुनिए, प्लीज हियर मी विथ अटेंशन। ओ ब्रह्म ऋषिज, ओ sages, ओ brahmanas, all the devatas, ओ fire gods, agnayah, I am going to speak about what you know, sadhu vritti. I am going to talk about the manners of gentle persons. इनके बारे में नहीं बोल रहा शिव जी, gentle people how they behave. And na agyanam, I am not speaking out of ignorance, I know. Nacha matsarat, I am not envious of this Lord Shiva also. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes. He says, please hear my words as I speak about the conduct of the well-bred. अच्छे लोग कैसे व्यवहार करते हैं। I will criticize the bad-mannered, but do not become unhappy without first reflecting. Just reflect first. Don't become angry. Don't become angry that why I am speaking against Lord Shiva. I am speaking about the manner of good people. Now he says, well-mannered will suffer if they tolerate the ill-mannered. अगर मैंने आज नहीं बोला ना, बाद में आप लोगों को ही प्रॉब्लम होने वाला है। Like not weeding the grain field. These are like the weeds. If you don't correct them now, they will grow. If one shows no hatred, such persons will commit offense against the well-mannered. He says, Hare, you don't know the good nature of Lord Shiva? He says, I am not ignorant. I know his good nature. I know his nature. That's why I'm speaking. Hare man, he says, and I have not known hatred from Balmu. जन्म से कुछ उससे कुछ खुन्नस नहीं है बाबा. I'm not envious of Lord Shiva since birth. I have seen his conduct. That's why I'm speaking like this. क्या बोल रहे हैं अभी? अभी सुनना शुरू करेंगे बेचारे. He speaks all the bad words. Now Srila Prabhupada writes, and speaking against Lord Shiva, Daksha tried to pacify the assembly by presenting in a very tactful way that he was going to speak about the manners of gentle people. Although naturally this might affect some unmannerly upstarts, and the assembly might be unhappy because they didn't want even unmannerly people to be offended. So it may be disturbing for others. So he's in the beginning only I am telling, अरे मैं आप लोगों के भले के लिए बोल रहा हूँ. I'm not speaking out of envy. As far as envy is concerned, from the very beginning, he was envious of Lord Shiva. Therefore, he could not distinguish his own particular envy. A person who is envious he never understands that he is envious. It's like a person who snores. उसको कभी नहीं लगता है कि मैं स्नोर करता हूँ. दुनिया बोलेगी कि मैं तो एकदम शांति से सोता हूँ. So our anarthas are like snoring. सबको दिखता है, हमको नहीं दिखता है. मतलब some of us must have realized, somebody says you're snoring. क्या बात कर, मैं तो आज तक कभी स्नोरिंग नहीं किया, मुझे तो सुनाई नहीं देता कभी. हमको कहाँ सुनाई देगा. One of our devotees इतनी जोर से कराटे मारते कि पूरा आश्रम उठेगा ऐसा. But he sleeps nicely. So our anarthas are like
If
that.
you were flexing him and killing now, you will do
नहीं क्या बात कर रहे हैं, मैं कैसे. Okay, मैं तो कभी स्नोरिंग करता ही नहीं हूँ. That's how anarthas are. So Daksha is 100% convinced that he is a saintly person. And Shivji is fool. Shivji is doing all garbad. And he is not playing politics to destroy Lord Shiva's reputation. He is convinced about it. Lord Shiva is not at all good. अरे उनको नहीं सुधारेंगे ना तो सबका प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. He is convinced. So he is thinking, I will help the society by revealing the problems of Lord Shiva. अब क्या बोलते हैं? अयम तु लोकपालानां
अयं तु
यशोघ्नो
लोकपालानां
निरपत्रपः सद्भिर आचरित पंथा येन स्तब्धेन दूषितः.
येन स्तब्धेन दूषितः.
What is the name and thing of the government of the universe? And keep it the path of a gentleman. Because he's shameless, he does not know how.
Ayam tu, this person, what he's doing? He is destroying yasha. He is destroying the fame of Lokapalanam. सबका नाम मिट्टी में मिला रहे हैं. He is destroying the fame of the governors of the universe. And he is so pakka shameless. Nirapatrapa. And sadbhir acharitaha. He has polluted the path of gentle manners. And he does not know. He is stabdha. He is proud. He is dushita. He has destroyed polluted the path. So he's saying, अरे बाबा इन्होंने सबका नाम खराब किया. That's how he is polarizing. So he is expert in word jugglery. Just like in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Duryodhan, he goes to Dronacharya and says, Tava Shishyena Dhimata. क्यों बोल रहे हैं तवा शिष्येना? पहले आपने गड़बड़ किया था, दोबारा मत करिए. Don't repeat the same mistake. Please behave properly. Please fight properly. So that's how word jugglery, these people are expert in word jugglery. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, hear with attention about his bad conduct. He destroys the fame of the protectors of the planets. Lokpalanam Yasho Aghna. Ghna means destroys. By unsteadiness of one person among many of equal status, people will criticize all. Because of him, every one of us will be criticized. Now, although Daksha is now speaking all bad words against Lord Shiva, it comes every time a great personality or Lord is criticized by a demon. Mother Saraswati, she sits on the tongue of such personality and speaks words which can be used to glorify that personality. Anybody remembers any other place?
When
Hiranyaksha was criticizing Varahadev. क्या बोलते हैं वो उसमें? बहुत सारा कुछ बोलते हैं ना. वन गोचरो मृगा. और कहाँ पे? इंद्र is criticizing Krishna. गोवर्धन लीला में. वाचालम बालिशम स्तब्धम अज्ञम पंडितमानिनम कृष्णम मर्त्यमुपाश्रित्य ये चक्रु देवहेलना. ये वाचाल is talkative boy. बालिशा he is child. पंडित मानिना, पंडित समझ रहे अपने आप को. And all these people have taken his shelter. So वहां पे विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर बोलते हैं पंडित मानिना मतलब बड़े बड़े पंडित इनको मानते हैं. He is childlike. He is always childlike, innocent. So here also, Chakravarti Thakur writes, by the skill of Saraswati, Daksha's words have another meaning, praising Shiva. So, first word is Yashoghna. So this means by his own fame, Shiva derides the fame of all others. इनके सामने और किसी का कोई यश है ही नहीं. He is so famous. Then he says Nirapatrapa. Nirapatrapa means shameless, but another meaning of word Nirapatrapa means one who gives shelter to those without deliverance, जिनका कोई नहीं कुछ भला हो सकता है. No? Prabhupada also writes about that. One sense is who is stunted, other is one who is maintainer of persons who have no other shelter. He is Bhutnath. They take shelter of Lord Shiva because he is very kind. He is quickly satisfied. Therefore, he is called as Ashutosh. Then he calls Lord Shiva as Stabdha. So, one meaning of Stabdha is he is without shame. He is shameless. But it can also mean the path followed by well-mannered is spoiled by destruction by the demons. Stabdha. Now, all the people who are listening this, they may ask, if you had grudge against Lord Shiva, why you married your daughter with him? Batao. He says, he has cheated my daughter. She was innocent. He cheated my daughter. That's why I married her. Eshame shishyatam prapto yanme duhituragrahi
जन्मे
panim vipragni mukhatah
पायं
savitraya iva sadhuva.
साधवं वत् साधवं.
And Ramanath. He has married my daughter who is equal to Gayatri and has pretended to be just like an honest person.
He is accepted to become my subordinate. एश में शिष्यताम. ये मेरे शिष्य बन गए. बताइए. Married my daughter मतलब he has become my subordinate. दुहितुर अग्रहित. पाणी नाम विप्राग्नि. And my daughter, she is like Gayatri. Every parent feels this only. मेरे बच्चे तो इतने अच्छे हैं. बच्चा कितना भी गड़बड़ करे, रूपात बोलते हैं ना, इवन इफ द सन इज बॉर्न ब्लाइंड, पेरेंट्स उसका नाम क्या रखेंगे? कमल लोचन नहीं, उनका नाम और एक कमल का ही ऐसा कुछ तो बोलते हैं, वो कमल नयन ऐसा कुछ तो ऐसे ही बोलते हैं कुछ तो. तब उनको दिखता भी नहीं है बच्चे को, फिर भी कमल नयन नाम रखेंगे. So he is saying, of course, Sati is having that quality, but he is really criticizing. So Prabhupada, Chakravarti Thakur writes, criticism is clear. However, the words can be taken as a praise. Until today, अभी क्या बोल रहे हैं वो, ना? Until today, he has kept my bad behavior secret. अभी तक मैंने दुनिया को नहीं बताया कि मैं इतना गड़बड़ हूँ. But now he is revealing my bad nature. Because he is omniscient, he is first to understand how fallen I am. And therefore he didn't stand up. So actually, it was not needed for him to stand up. He is telling everyone how sinful I am. What good behavior is this on my part? Now, he continues. अभी तो बहुत ही गाली देते हैं बेचारे शिव जी को. गृहीत्वा मृग शावाक्ष्या पाणिं मर्कटलोचनः प्रत्युत्थानाभिवादार्हे वाचाप्यकृतनोचितम्.
Like those deer cows. Nevertheless, he did not stand up to receive me, nor did think it fit to become his defeat.
He is Markat Lochan and my daughter is Mrigshavaksha. Mrigshava means cub, deer cub. Aksha, she has eyes like a deer cub. Nevertheless, and he has no good qualities, still he didn't get up. मतलब इसमें कनेक्शन है कुछ बताइए. उनकी आंखें ऐसी है तो खड़े होने का मतलब कुछ कनेक्शन नहीं है. And that's how envious people are. They कुछ भी होगा, they will get any point and they will say देखो इसीलिए ऐसे हैं. That's how Daksha is doing. वही तो मतलब उसमें खड़े होने में क्या कनेक्शन है? If it is not beautiful.
He was worthless person. Still, I had given my daughter to him.
हाँ.
It was so beautiful.
So beautiful.
She was beautiful.
She was beautiful. You say, still he didn't get up to receive.
He was distinguishing manners. He is trying to.
I am telling about the good manners of people. इस खड़ा होना चाहिए था ना इनको. एक तो इनमें कोई गुण नहीं है, ऊपर से मैंने अपनी बेटी इनको दी है. Who is so beautiful? He is ugly. He is Markat Lochan. Still he didn't get up. So that's how.
Typical when the power is there. Prajapati is a very powerful person. Na? When the power is he will be completely blind. He will what he was speaking.
So he was never wanting Daksha, his daughter to be married to Lord Shiva. बाद में तो पहले तो शिव जी को गाली दे रहे हैं, उसके बाद ब्रह्मा जी को भी गाली देते हैं. And he is not calling Brahma ji also his father. ये परमेष्ठी की वजह से मैंने दिया है अपनी बेटी. Because of him only I gave my daughter. So that's how, when we are forced to do something against our wish, then the person involved becomes the object of our envy. इसकी वजह से मुझे ये करना पड़ा है, तो anything goes wrong, इनको ही मारना है, So that's how Prabhupada would tell, if somebody is very powerful and he's angry on somebody and he cannot vent out his anger on somebody, किसी को तो लेके आएंगे, मारो इसको ही मारो, कुछ भी गड़बड़ा तो इसको ही मार पड़ती है. So Lord Shiva, he is getting all the bad words. Although he was simple, he was just sitting there. Although it was the Brahmana's decision. Huh?
No one accept their own mistakes.
Envious person, proud people, they can't accept. So although it was a decision of the Brahmaji to marry Sati and Shivji. Prabhupada Chakravarti Thakur writes, he did not even respect with sweet words his father-in-law, who deserves that someone rises from his seat and addresses him. Itna bhi culture nahi inko. Other meaning is what? Seeing mercifully materialists who are like monkeys. Markat Lochan means those materialists who are like monkeys. He grants their desires. That's why he's Markat Lochan. He is giving all the merciful glance to monkey-like materialistic people. Unfortunately, I have not respected with words such a person who deserves that I rise and speak politely. Now, he speaks more bad words. Lupta kriyaya shuchaye manine bhinna setave anichanna pyadam balam shudrayevo shatim giram.
I have no desire to give my daughter to this person who has broken all the rules of civility because of not observing the required rules and regulations. He is impure, but I was obliged to hand over my daughter to him just as one teaches the messages of the Vedas to a Sudra.
आज हम लोग शिव जी का बहुत सुनने वाले हैं ब्लास्फेमी. लुप्त क्रियाया शुचये. He is so impure. He does not follow any rules and regulations. Ashuchi. Manine, he is proud. मतलब कौन बोल रहा था? All this while Lord Shiva is bichara sitting peacefully. He is not speaking a single word. Just silently sitting. That itself shows how tolerant Lord Shiva is. तो इसमें से कोई एक भी वर्ड हमको बोलेगा तो फिर तो Khatam. All the while he's just listening, and in the end he just gets up and leaves. उनके सब एसोसिएट जो गुस्सा हो जाते हैं, वो उनके पूरा श्राप एंड कर्सिंग, काउंटर कर्सिंग goes on, and Lord Shiva is still sitting peacefully. Manine, he is saying he is proud. Bhinna setave, he has broken all rules of civility. And now he is telling, Anichanapi, I had no desire to marry my daughter to him. क्या करें, फिर भी देना पड़ गया. I was obliged. Shudra, just like one teaches a message of the Vedas to a Shudra. Chakravarti Thakur writes the other meanings. Ashuchaye, he says, Ashuchaye, he's not he's not impure. This means no one is cleaner than him. इनसे और कोई शुचि हो ही नहीं सकता है. Ashuchaye. And he is not proud. He does not break his rules. Amanine, abhinna setave. And therefore, I had no good qualification. That's why I didn't want to give my daughter to him. Because my daughter is not, such good quality, having such good quality like him. Okay. And then he speaks about the external features of Lord Shiva. Somebody can read the translation.
He lived in filthy places like crematorium, and his companions are the ghosts and demons, naked like a madman, sometimes laughing and sometimes crying. He smears crematorium and ashes all over his body. He does not bathe regularly, and he ornaments his body with garland of skull and therefore only in name is his Shiva or auspicious. Actually, he is the most mad and inauspicious creature. Thus, he is very dear to crazy beings in the gross mood of ignorance, and he is their leader.
Only in name he is auspicious. Shiva. So now he is speaking all the bad words about the appearance of Lord Shiva. He lives in filthy places, crematorium, pravishta, preta avaseshu. Preta avas, he lives in crematorium. And who are his companions? Preta, bhuta, ganai. And he is nagna, he is naked many times, like a madman. Yupta kesha. And he sometimes laughs, sometimes cries. Why? He is always absorbed in ecstasy of Lord. That's why he sometimes laughs, sometimes cries. He covers his body with crematorium ash. He is Shiva in the name only. So Srila Prabhupada writes, sometimes it is seen that great personalities meet with fallen souls, not for any personal interest, but for the benefit of those souls. In the creation of the Lord, there are different kinds of living creatures. Some are in goodness, some are in passion, some are in ignorance. Lord Shiva takes charge of those who are in ignorance. That's why he is called as auspicious. So Chakravarti Thakur writes, why he is mad? He is not mad. He is most exalted. And he is, by him, even worst places become auspicious. That's the symptom of great personality. Mahad Vichalana, nahi, kya wo Yudhishthir tells to Vidurji, first canto verse. Anyone remembers? When Vidurji comes back, Yudhishthir welcomes him and he says, कैसा शुरू होता है वो? भवद विधा भागवता तीर्थ भूता स्वयं विभो तीर्थी कुर्वन्ति तीर्थानि स्वान्तस्थेन गदाभृता. So they make the places auspicious, and Lord Shiva is Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. So he's all auspicious. He is out of ignorance telling that he is Shiva Upadesha. He is just in namesake Shiva. Tasma Unmad Nathaya Nashta Shauchaya Durride Shauchaya
शौचाय
Patmaya Sadhi
श्रद्धावतम
Purite Parameshtina.
Yedi te paramesthita stita.
So
Na.
Lord Brahma, I handed over my chaste daughter to him, although he is devoid of all cleanliness and his heart is filled with nasty things.
Parameshthina, that's how he is now addressing, criticizing Brahma जी. ये अपने आप को इतना बड़ा आदमी समझते हैं, ठीक है, बड़े आदमी बोले तो देना पड़ा, क्या करें. Parameshthi, that's why sarcastically he is telling, Parameshthi बोले हैं. He's such a big person, and that's why I had to give my daughter. Otherwise, I had no intentions of giving my daughter to this personality. So Prabhupada writes, indeed, वहाँ पे बोलते हैं Prabhupada. Instead, he referred to, he was so angry that he did not acknowledge that the request was from his father. He is telling Parameshthi. Because of his temperament of gross anger, he was not even prepared to accept Brahma as his father.
Supreme teacher, his teacher only
Now he is
mistake.
doing Guru Aparad. Because he did Vaishnava Aparad, now he is doing Guru Aparad also. That is the sequence. In other words, he even accused Brahma of being less intelligent. In anger, one forgets everything. He not only accused Lord Shiva, he is accusing Brahmaji also. That's how it is. Now Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Unmad-nathaya. Unmad-nathaya means he is merciful even to mad people. Nashta Shuchaye, he purifies even the impure. He is Dur-hriday, his mind is merciful even to sinful. And now after speaking all this, he just didn't criticize Lord Shiva, he cursed Lord Shiva also. Still Lord Shiva didn't do anything to him. He's now cursing, he's preparing to curse. Maitreya Uvacha Vinindhyaivam cha
Cha. Vindhiyo.
Apratimamosथितम् दक्षोथापस्पृश्य क्रुद्ध
Dakshotapa
शब्दं
Saptarsya.
प्रचक्रमे.
Kriha Saptam Prachakrame.
Seeing Lord Shiva sitting against him, wash his hands and mouth and curse him in the following way.
आचमन करके श्राप देते हैं हमेशा. ऐसा वैदिक कल्चर भी अलग ही है, अच्छा ही रहता है. श्राप भी देना है तो पहले आचमन करेंगे. प्यूरिफाई योरसेल्फ टू गिव कर्स. And now he is giving curse. I am to Deva Yajana. Indropendradivirbhavaha.
Indro Pindra
Sahbhagam na labhatam.
Sahabhagam
Devair Devaganadhamaha.
Devaituka Kanadmaha.
Lord Shiva, who is the most of all, does not have a share.
Now, this is what Daksha valued. श्राप में क्या नहीं मिलना चाहिए? What I value, he should not get. So Daksha values the results of sacrificial oblations. इनको नहीं मिलना चाहिए. So he revealed his mind, how he is pakka materialistic. He is only interested in getting material benefits. And Lord Shiva was happy. कि चलो भाई अच्छा हो गया. I don't have to go to attend all these materialistic yajna. Prabhupada writes, Lord Shiva was saved from the calamity of taking part with other devtas who are all materialistic. Lord Shiva is greatest devotee and it is not fitting for him to eat and sit with materialistic people. So Lord Shiva was very happy. It was not that, बोले अरे क्या है ऐसा श्राप दिया मेरे को. Just like Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, people would come and ask benedictions, Maharaj, Ashirwad dijiye. He was so upset. He would go and sit in toilet and chant. So that's how saintly people are disgusted with the materialistic people. So Lord Shiva, he is happy. So Prabhupada writes, the conclusion is that Prabhupada gives the example of the Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj in the purport. Many materialistic persons used to come and bother him and disturb his daily routine. So to avoid their company, he would sit on the side of a latrine where materialistic person would not go because of filth and obnoxious smell. The conclusion is that Lord Shiva behaved in his own way to avoid materialistic persons who might disturb him in the prosecution of devotional service. So Lord Shiva was internally happy. Chalo bhai, acha abhi jana nahi padega. It is like it's a botheration for a devotee to go and attend all the materialistic, occasions. इनके शादी में जाओ, उनके बर्थडे में जाओ, उनकी पार्टी में जाओ, एंड वहां पे तो सब गड़बड़ी होने वाला है. They are doing, nobody is interested in devotional service there. So if somebody curses, I curse that you will not come to our party. बोले बच गए. हम तो पहले ही नहीं जाना चाहते थे. अच्छा हो गया श्राद्ध जी. So that was a position of Lord Shiva. He was happy. Chakravarti Thakur writes, at the sacrifice, he should not receive a share along with the devatas because devatas are lower than he is. Why I should receive all these oblations with the devatas? They are not pure devotees also. One should not eat with those who are in lower position. Now, Maitreya Muni, he continues. The first curse he gave, he will not get the oblations of the sacrifice. So although he is going to speak so many things, Lord Shiva is not at all reciprocating, not at all speaking anything. He never justified. He didn't get up and say a word कि भाई वाह क्या हो गया, problem क्या हो गया, क्यों इतना बोल रहे हैं. That's why he is Atmaram. He is never affected by anything. He is not concerned by public opinion. This requires a very high level of integrity and absorption in Krishna.
Yes.
कि भाई जो कोई भी कुछ भी बोले भगवान जानते हैं. I am not even going to give any justification also. जो बोलना है बोलो. That is very difficult for any person. If something is spoken against him and if he has not done that, natural thing is मैंने किया ही नहीं ऐसा. Justify,
Clarify करेंगे.
clarify. But Lord Shiva is not even clarifying, not even justifying. That requires a level of maturity. That is very difficult. Of course, in devotee community, we have to do that sometimes so that we can continue serving. Otherwise, if somebody is blaming, in devotee community, the image a devotee has in the public community, in the devotee community matters. If we don't have good image about our devotional service, and when some service is given, people will not accept if we want to do some seva. If we are not in a good position, good standing, and if some service is given, you are made in charge, nobody will listen to you. ये तो खुद ही ऐसे हैं तो हम क्यों माने इनको? So that's why it is required. If we have not done anything wrong, we can always tell our side that okay, this is not the case. If something is spoken against us, we should always tell what was the right thing so that we can continue serving with a peaceful mind. Otherwise, it will be difficult. If you are on the level of Lord Shiva, then you can be peaceful. Main point is, if you are peaceful, then okay. Lord Shiva was not disturbed by it. If we are peacefully accepting whatever is spoken against us, then it's okay. If we are disturbed, better to clarify. We should never work at a level where we are not. Otherwise, आज हम लोग सुन लेंगे, accept कर लेंगे, बाद में we will be disturbed. We will not be able to chant properly, we will not be able to do our seva properly. उसने ऐसा क्यों बोल दिया, उसने ऐसा. मैं तो अपने आप को बड़ा डिवोटी माना, इसलिए मैंने बोला नहीं कुछ. नहीं तो मैं तो बोलने ही वाला था. That is what is there. So Lord Shiva, he is not speaking anything. He continues. Next verse, translation.
Actually, continue. My dear Vidura, in spite of the request of all the members of the Secretariat Assembly, Daksh in great anger cursed Lord Shiva and then left the assembly and went back to his home.
Many people, they were telling Daksha, please stop. Still, he didn't listen and he just left the assembly. Prabhupada in the purport describes about the dangers of anger. Out of anger, he left the arena where Brahma was residing and all the sages were there. All of them requested him not to leave. सब बोल रहे हैं मत जाओ. Still he left. He was so puffed up. He thought that no one was greater than he in argument. So that's how Daksha thought. So Daksha thought, nobody is as intelligent as I am. Nobody is able to see the fault in this. Why should I stay in this assembly? सब लोग इतने मंद बुद्धि हैं. I don't want to stay in this assembly only. That's the pride of Lord this Daksha.
Actually, there was no argument only. Still he left.
हाँ मतलब कोई कुछ बोल ही नहीं रहा है. Still he gave curse and then he left.
Maybe no one has responded him when he was cursing Shiva. That's why he failed.
और गुस्सा हो गया. You know, if somebody is instigating us and we are peaceful, वो ज्यादा गुस्सा आ रहा है. ऐसे कि इसको गुस्सा नहीं आ रहा है और बोलते हैं. Prabhupada writes, puffed up by his exalted position, he thought nobody was greater than he. It appears that all the members of the assembly, including Brahma, requested him not to become angry and leave. But in spite of all these, he left. This is the effect of cruel anger. Three gateways to hell. So that's how Vaishnava Aparadh is so very deadly. He did this Vaishnava Aparadh, then he did Guru Aparadh, and Vaishnava Aparadh is like Vajra Lepa. It is like lines on the stone, cannot be erased so easily. That's why even after 6 manvantars of doing tapasya, he again offended Narad Muni. So basically, everybody was happy with the marriage of Shivji and Sati. Nobody had any problem. Daksha created whole thing in his mind. ये ऐसे हैं, ये वो ऐसे हैं. That is how the power of mind is. Everybody was good and happy and satisfied. Only Daksha, he perceived it as insult. Nobody insulted him. Nobody said anything wrong. So that's how Daksha is, perceiving. So he is seeing this, अरे ऐसा कैसे, मेरे से बड़े कैसे हैं ये? The spirit of competition when it comes between devotees. You know, competition can be there between devotees for one purpose. For what? To serve better. Any example from scriptures? Okay, or competition is better.
Service.
Somebody is competing. उसमें कंपटीशन कहाँ आता है? उसमें तो नहीं आता कंपटीशन. उसमें तो सब लोग बोल रहे हैं अरे आप इतने महान. Now when the Vrindavan, all the cowherd boys and Krishna is they are there, and Krishna goes in the forest far, and all the cowherd boys they have a match. Who will touch Krishna first? तो सब लोग भाग रहे हैं. यदि दूरे गतम कृष्ण वनशोभे क्षणायनः अहम पूर्वम iti samsprishya remire. I will touch Krishna first. I will touch Krishna first. But our acharyas say, what is the mood of these cowherd boys? Seeing me running fast, my friend will run faster than me. He will touch Krishna first. So our competition is to inspire others to serve Krishna better. Same words come in Samudra Manthan. When some Amrit appears, the demons, they snatch away the Amrit from the hands of this Dhanvantari. They are running. वहां पे क्या हो रहा है? Mitha Kali Abhutesham Kali. Fighting started between demons. Tadarthe Amrit के लिए. Tarsh Chetasam. और वो क्या बोल रहे हैं? aham purvam. Next line is important. Natvam iti prabho. तुम नहीं, मैं पहले पीऊंगा. That is the difference between demoniac competition and competition between devotees. There is no problem in competition. Competition should be there, but the purpose should be to please Krishna. In the spiritual world, Radharani Chandravali का पूरा competition चलता है. So much so that one time Raghunath Das Goswami was given buttermilk in a leaf cup. तो पूछे किधर से आया leaf cup? वो चंद्रावली से के गांव से आया. फेंकती पी. Of course, they are like, we cannot even imitate and imagine to do like this. We'll be destroyed. हमारा bhakti and their sons हो जाएगा. But there, all the competition is to please Krishna because they know Krishna likes this competition. And in this world, envy means put others down. Just like in the beginning days in ISKCON, it has happened. Sankirtan party चलो, 2 buses खड़ी हैं, ये वाले ने दूसरे का टायर पंचर किया कि चलो भाई हम पहले जाएंगे, हम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेंगे बोकर, हम फर्स्ट आएंगे. That has happened in the past. So, mad elephant. As a mad elephant can do anything horrible. Makta हाथी अपराध वही बोलते हैं ना. हाथी माता हाथी. वो माता मतलब वो माता मीन्स बंगाली में mad.
The point is that when we do simple activities to the mind, mental yoga is not taken.
China नहीं तो अपना बैंड बज जाएगा.
But that is up to only simple activities, not for the Vaishnava.
ऐसा है क्या?
Yeah.
अरे बाप रे.
So it is for simple activities, Kaliuga will not. If you are mentally offended, like Rupa Goswami's example, he was not offending till that Chitra was gone.
Yeah.
That's why he comes because that point coming here. Even because this maybe he was meditating on Shiva, कि मैं क्यों गया, मैं क्यों गया.
वो तो बहुत आगे का हो गया. At least verbally तो ना करें. Physically तो बहुत दूर की बात हो जाती है.
Sometimes we feel that what Bhakti never get destroyed, never be destroyed.
Yeah, but the
these Vaishnava offenses, because this mad elephant when it is written and it is uprooting the thing. How to understand this?
It is also described that bhakti is permanent, neha abhikramanash, but a person, a devotee who offends Vaishnavas, he loses access to his devotional credits. It's like a billionaire who has lost the password to his bank account. क्या करेगा? He is billionaire, but he can't access the money he has. So इतना सब बनाया वो है, but because of the aparadh, everything is inaccessible. The first thing which happens when we offend a Vaishnava is we lose our enthusiasm to practice. Bhakti becomes very difficult to practice. Boring हो जाता है, distasteful.
He will get materialistic desires.
Materialistic desires increase, yes, that also happens. Okay, now. So all of... Sorry? Ask that devotee.
That devotee
आपको एक्सप्लेनेशन ग्राफिकली बताएंगे क्या गड़बड़ क्या है.
This is a good side of Vaishnava, basically. Suppose someone is not.
If they don't consider, that is, yeah, still better. But still, if we know that because he is a devotee, he has forgiven, we should do something. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in Madhurya Kadambini on about this offense. If you understand that ये अपराध हो गया, क्या करें? If we get to know, then do some steps, take some steps. If we don't get to know, that is a different thing altogether.
That also, I think the solution is given. Even if you not come to know, because previously, Vaishnava is not like now you are doing it, you after becoming Vaishnava. Before that, how many people are offended? No? And they become your devotees, that Vaishnava offense will come to you. That's the Vaishnava, yeah. Previously.
वो तो है ना.
So that baggage is always you are carrying. Previous activities or baggage. A Vaishnava, that he become Vaishnava, then it's difficult for us. We should pray that we are offended.
वो डिवोटी नहीं बनना चाहिए यार, नहीं तो
Otherwise, we have to pay the fine. This is a very big thing.
we can always just, one thing is our intention should always be right. That is very important. If we realize that we have made a mistake or offended somebody, if just ask forgiveness, that is the first thing. Don't just speak it, mean it, and do some seva, and repeatedly ask for forgiveness. Even if that person or devotee, you understand that he has not still forgiven, then nothing else is remaining, just chant in a helpless way. That is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes. And if we don't even realize, then the only thing remaining is pray, so that we don't offend more. So now Lord Shiva, he is still silent. And Daksha, just like as he is cursing, any Vaishnava, if he is cursed, if he is offended, then naturally other devotees should not be silent. हाँ ये ऐसे ही है, मालूम था मेरे को. Nandishwar becomes really angry, and cursing and counter cursing starts. Translation, 20th verse.
On understanding the Lord Shiva had been called Nandishwar. One of the Lord Shiva's principal associates became very angry. His eyes became red and he prepared to curse Daksha and all the Brahmanas present there who had tolerated Daksha cursing Shiva in harsh words.
Yeah. So he is cursing not just Daksha and all the Brahmanas because they didn't speak anything when Lord Shiva was criticized. So Prabhupada writes, there is a long standing dissension between Vaishnavas, neophyte Vaishnavas and Shaivites. Those who are mature devotees, they never have any misunderstanding with Vaishnavas because they always respect Lord Shiva. With the Shaivites, because Vaishnavas, they always respect Lord Shiva. So Daksha, when he cursed Lord Shiva, some of the Brahmanas present might have enjoyed it, because some Brahmanas do not very much admire Lord Shiva. This is due to their ignorance of Lord Shiva's position. So Nandishwar, he could not tolerate it, and he started cursing. Although Lord Shiva could also have cursed Daksha in a similar way, he was silent and tolerant. But, and that purport is very strong. But Nandishwar was not tolerant. Of course, as a follower, it was right for him not to tolerate an insult to his master. But he should not have cursed the Brahmanas. The entire issue was so complicated that those who were not strong enough forgot their positions, and thus cursing and counter cursing went on. In other words, material field is so unsteady that even personalities like Nandishwar, Daksha, and many of the Brahmanas present were infected by the atmosphere of anger. Anger was justified, but the way the anger was expressed, that was not right. We are not happy with some devotee working in a certain way, it is right to express anger. But the way we show our anger, that is also very important. So Nandishwar, he is angry and he is justified in showing anger. But our anger, when it goes beyond proportion, then it is not good. Any example of any other story where a devotee, he became angry beyond proportion? Dhruva. When this Uttam was killed by Yaksha, Dhruva went on a campaign of exterminating entire Yaksha race. Parikshit Maharaj, Janmejay, he wanted to kill entire Naga race. Sabko maar denge. So that anger is justified, but when it goes beyond proportion, then it is not proper. And it requires a great personality to control anger and express anger in a constructive way. Srila Prabhupada was like that. He was expressing anger in a constructive way. He would, by his anger, our anger should be constructive, means it should help devotees, yeah, it should increase their enthusiasm to serve. ऐसा नहीं कि अब तो करूंगा ही नहीं. I did such service, एक छोटा सा गलती हुआ इतना झापा मेरे को. That is destructive anger. That is the art, authorities and anybody in the leadership position should learn. बहुत मुश्किल है. Okay, now he starts curse. 2-3 श्लोकों में बहुत श्लोक बे श्लोक, गाली पे गाली. Translation for 21st.
Anyone who has accepted Daksha as the most important personality and neglected Lord because of less intelligence. Because of visualizing in duality will be bereft of transcendental knowledge.
That is first curse on Daksha. Daksha will be bereft of all the transcendental knowledge and he will be deprived of the knowledge of the Supreme Lord. So Daksha, he was working on the bodily platform. He was thinking, hey, मेरे यज्ञ में इनको भाग नहीं मिलेगा. So Nandishwar, and he cursed for that thing only. He will forget all the transcendental knowledge because he is only thinking about body. He will forget all the knowledge pertaining soul and super soul. That is the first thing. And he cursed all the Brahmanas also. Why? Because none of the Brahmanas spoke. It was like, you must have seen, if there are many dogs and one dog comes, starts barking, everybody starts barking. So Daksha, he also instigated the bad feelings of all the Brahmanas against Lord Shiva. So that's why Nandishwar cursed Daksha also, he cursed all the Brahmanas also. So Prabhupada writes, first curse was that anyone supporting Daksha was foolishly identifying himself with the body, and therefore, because Daksha had no transcendental knowledge, supporting him would deprive one of transcendental knowledge. That was the first curse. And therefore, Nandishwar's curse was anyone who supported Daksha would be bereft of the transcendental knowledge. Next verse. Griheshu Kuta Dharmeshu Takto Gramya Sukhechaya Karmatantram Vitanute Vedavada Vipannadhi.
Description of the Vedas robes one of all intelligence and attaches one of creative activities as all in all.
So he's saying this Daksha, he is pakka materialistic person. He is Kut Dharmeshu. He is pretentiously following household life. He is attached to material happiness. Gramya Sukh. He is only interested in Gramya Sukh. And therefore, Karma Tantram Vitanute. He is attached to fruitive activity. He thinks it is all in all. And Ved, Vad, Vipannadhi, he is also attracted to the superficial explanations of the Vedas. And therefore, all his intelligence is stolen. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yam imam pushpitam vacham pravadante vipaschitaha Vedavad rata partha. All the descriptions of the Vedas, they are like the flowery languages, flowery words. And only materialistic people are interested in those Vedas. Now, after this, Prabhupada writes about that in the purport. Now he speaks the second curse. We'll see the three curses and then we'll stop. Buddhya parabhidhya Vismritatma gati pashu Stri kama swastvatitaram Daksho bastamukho chirat.
Daksha has accepted the body at all in fall. Therefore, since he has forgotten the Vishnu's path or Vishnu Gati and is attached to sex life only, within a short time he will have the face of a goat.
Yeah. So first curse, he'll be bereft of all the transcendental knowledge. Second curse, he'll be attracted and absorbed in karma kanda rituals. And third curse, now he's giving, he'll have a goat head in some time. Why goat head? Because goats are dull. Even if they are taken to be slaughtered, they are busy eating grass. That's how Daksha is so dull to spiritual knowledge. So let him have a goat head. And after this, he curses Brahmanas in next 2.5 verses. That will take next time. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.